I'll go next, and I'm going to show some of the accessories that I use. Is this on?
Yes.
Okay. I'll show some of the accessories that I use, and then Steve's going to add some to it and show some of his accessories, and then we're going to get into, he's going to show some video editing processes, and I'm going to show software that you can record from your computer screen, then take into your video editing process. Then at the end, I'm going to show how to take this rendered video, and if it's 900 megabytes, squish it down into 9 megabytes. So it uploads on YouTube probably 10 minutes compared to 3 hours. So it's very helpful. Some of the accessories that I use, a lot of these won't pertain to your woodworking shop, but home use you would probably use them. Several different tripods. I got a lot of these ideas off YouTube videos. Don't say anything to this, but I'm not quite smart enough to think up a lot of these items there. Okay, we'll start with this one since it's in the front. This is a sliding tracking dolly made out of simple conduit pipe and junction boxes. And now what this does, this is a typical head from a tripod, and it's got a 3/8 inch bolt on the bottom.
Hold it still.
Breaking your rules.
You're good.
What rule is that on your list? Number one?
Yeah.
So this would just screw onto here. There it goes.
Get shorter bolt.
Yeah. So then you mount your camera on there, and for instance, if you have a long piece of wood that you want to show all the grain to, you could lay it on the back side and just start your video camera, just film the whole board. This right here, to buy these new, they're $500-600 down at Showcase, other stores. I think I have $6 invested in this.
What makes your linear bearings?
Bearings?
Bushings.
You mean those bushings?
See these red bushings?
Are those just feed-through bushings?
Yeah, they just feed through. I think I got like a package of 25 of those for $1.38 at Home Depot. And I mount.
Just a wire chase, right?
I glued these on with JB Weld epoxy. And on the bottom of this, I put little bumpers. This in.
See what I mean?
So this is a fun accessory.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, when I got this tripod, it was a 3-legged tripod. Oh, of course.
Takes mechanical knowledge.
But he repeats himself.
But I think I gave like $6 or $8 for this tripod,
That's pretty good.
and just this head alone sells on eBay for $40-50 by itself. So, okay, that covers this massive thing. Get that out of the way. Reflectors for your lights. If you ever need reflectors, don't go down to the video store and pay $40-50 for one. Go to Walmart, get these sunshades. $2 for 2 of them. Work just as good. And if you know how to fold a bandsaw blade, of course on camera you can't do it. But that's a good investment. This will have 2 purposes. One for a reflector, and another one, if you get a pillowcase, like a green pillowcase, this color, or similar, you could put this in a pillowcase and use it as a green screen behind your head. I like using cheap stuff.
Does that require a certain green or
This screen works.
does it?
Just so it's a big difference between a green that you would use and something that would be in your clothing or the picture that you would put in the green screen or chroma key, official name of it, in your editing software. This is a thermal blanket. Came from Walmart. I think it's $2.88. Or you can buy a real green screen. This size will probably cost $40, $50.
What's a green screen do?
Green screen, if you, such as the newscast of the weather, you know where I'm going with this, Bob, don't you? The actual, when they're shooting the newscast, the weather, there's really not a picture on the wall. There's something like this. And it's a process where in editing, where they put a picture to cover this up. It's kind of hard to explain, but you watch the video. John could probably explain that pretty good. I can do the green screen, but I can't explain it very well. I'm a professional speaker.
Now, when they drop the color green from the original video, does that affect the color shift of the person perhaps?
As long as they're not wearing green.
Yeah, just so I'm not wearing
You
green.
gotta
It
be
doesn't affect
careful.
skin tones or anything?
No,
Is that why green rather than blue or red or?
yeah.
It keeps up a very specific frequency.
Yeah.
It's very specific.
If you remember back in the 60s, there were all those movies about the Invisible Man. But what they would do is wear a green screen suit under their clothes, and all you see is their clothes walking around.
It was actually a blue screen back then.
Blue screen.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
But yeah, this is great. $2.88 at Walmart.
One thing I was going to mention, I forgot, don't wear a really high contrasty shirt with like white and black stripes, something like that. Videos don't do well on that. So I don't see one in the audience right now, but
I
Yeah,
guess the
well,
question, if you're videoing a piece of wood or something like that, what would you care if you have?
Well, if you do a piece of wood, you probably wouldn't use that. You'd use a green screen. Like if Rob is doing a shot at his house, he could put the green screen behind him and then put a picture of the Hooters girls behind him.
No, I just invite them over.
Or he could have all kind of, I guess they call booth babes in the
A
picture behind him. It
simpler-
looks like they're in his house.
In his case, they're shop babes.
A simpler answer would be is if you have a need to superimpose one image on top of another. In other words, you've got a specific background that you want to use, but you can't get the background and the person together for whatever reason. You could put, like the person, you could put the green screen behind them, take their shot, and then at editing time, you can superimpose that person on the background, and it looks like it was all taken in one pass.
Well, these news broadcasts, they're not edited, are they? I mean, they do it live, don't they?
They're doing it live,
Do it
yeah.
live. But they
Are they
have,
superimposing in real time?
Yes,
Well, there's substitute.
exactly.
they have really fast
every-
equipment.
Yeah.
Every one of the weather broadcasts, that's the most common place to see it done.
When he's pointing to something, he's pointing to something on the green screen, he's watching himself in a...
He's pointing out into the ether somewhere. That map is nowhere near him. He's looking at a monitor to figure out where he's pointing.
Or something.
but they don't have a $2.88 green screen either.
They painted the wall.
You'll notice that the paper I passed out on the links, I believe there's the guy called the Frugal Filmmaker. A lot of the tips that he has, I'll use some of them on here. Cheap tips. Okay, let's see. Headphones for your camera. Not a necessity, but it's nice to use when you're recording. I think Jim uses them a lot during the meetings.
Sometimes we have a headphone plug on the back of this camera, and I can monitor the audio sometimes.
Do yourself a favor, buy a quality pair. Don't go down to Fry's and spend $15 on a set. This is a set of Bose They had them on sale at Brandsmart, I believe, for I think $160. So yeah, get a good pair of headphones.
That good.
And I like these because they fold up small and fit in this case.
I'm good with the $7 ones.
Okay, let's go here. Paint pole. This is good for, you can mount a camera on top, a microphone, and what I like about this one, it goes up very easy. And since I'm on the topic of this, remember I told you to save the picture of the shotgun microphone? This, if you have just a microphone mounted on your pole, every movement that you make is going to pick up that noise, especially if you have a metal pole. If you make something like this, $1.25, PVC pipe is your friend there.
Hold it still.
Okay. So take the shotgun mic and just stick it in here, and it reduces 95% of your vibration. That's another tip from the frugal filmmaker. Okay.
Alex, to add to one of the answers I gave you earlier, you were asking about brands of equipment. Rode is another popular name. R-O-D-E.
RODE.
But they make a lot of microphones and so forth. One of their shotgun mics that I elected not to get has their shotgun mic suspended with rubber bands. The chief complaint about the thing is you get out in the field in the sun and those rubber bands will wind up snapping. So you need to make sure your rubber bands are good quality before you go to commit yourself to
Probably use
using
those
this
elastic
inexpensive
bands
solution.
that girls put in their hair. That'd probably work good. Okay. This. Mount your tripod head on here again.
Back up a little bit.
For real short pictures.
Okay, this jig here and this jig, I have like a 15-second video I'll show later of what they actually do. You could put this on the ground and set your wheels. Like if you have a statue, film the statue all the way around it. One thing I do need to add to that is a little hook so I can pull it instead of bend over and pushing it. So I think I got $4 or $5 invested in this. So if you buy this at Showcase, of course it won't be made out of a piece of old wood, but this is roughly $250
Oh, way more than that.
at least.
Yeah,
Goodwill.
probably close to $1,000 then at Showcase.
Okay, if you decide to do this, don't get the real cheap skateboard skate wheels because they'll have a lot of drag in them. Supposedly this skateboard, when I bought it, it was busted in half. And the guy who sold it said it was a $150 skateboard. I just took his word for it. I don't know. But it's real smooth. This could also be used with a contraption like this, but put on a track. Okay. Monopods. These things are great. Lightweight. A lot of hikers use these with their cameras. These are at the camera stores $50, $60. Walmart $12. And I put a carabiner on it so I can hook it to my belt when I'm not using it.
That's a walking stick or what? From hiking stick?
do they call it at Walmart? Is it a monopod?
Monopod. It's called a monopod.
Does it have a socket or?
Yes, the cat
Oh, okay.
component for camera.
Or-
I guess you could even put you a pint of liquor in there too. For your hikes.
That'd be about just one.
Baptist Milltown.
Okay, small tripods. These are really nice. I like these a lot. You can put them anywhere. So I have one mounted right here. Put them on tree branches, lathe rests. Just pretty cool. I'll pass that around. I got the bigger one on eBay for $4 with shipping. Walmart, they're $25. You see, this one's much bigger than that one. Small tripods. Best Buy, the exact same one. Sorry, broke your rule again. The exact same one. Best Buy is around $9, or you can get the exact same one, different colors, at Dollar Tree. I wouldn't put a heavy camera on these, but cameras like this would be fine for them. And also, these are good to take the head off and use it for other items. You can also put your camera on. This is just another type of tripod. This one folds up.
Keep it going. I can't follow you. All right.
Just another cheap one. These are a little bit better. This one, the legs extend. I would trust my heavier camera on this tripod, but not when it's extended this far. These were $10, and the reason I bought this is so I could take the head out and use it right here. Which brings me to this. Rolling jig. Crane. I'm sorry, crane. These knobs came from Peachtree. I think they were $1 a piece or so. The stand is a closed fixture stand. It, let's see, where's the knob? It will raise at different heights. You can adjust the length on your boom. This was $6 or $7. This pole is what they use to, if you have your garments hanging up high, they use this to pick up the coat hanger off the high garments. So this was like $4. The dolly came from Harbor Freight, $6 or $7. So y'all seen this one use that Jack made. This is just a lightweight portable version.
You put weight on the base
Yes,
when you're out in the marketplace with bricks or something to,
I have noticed if you, those square milk crates that you see in the grocery store, fits perfectly on this base. So I put my extension cords, the camera cases, and everything inside that milk crate. Oh, these came from Dawson Jones, is that the name of it?
Dawson Jones, yeah.
Dawson Jones. They're down off Anweiler.
watch the screen.
Okay. Microphones, let's go there. We'll start with this one. there's a guy who used to be a member of this club, and he owns an audio video store in downtown Lawrenceville. We're 20 dead ends at the post office. It's called Jireh Supplies, Jireh. But I got this stand from him and this part. So I use this on my computer desk. Or this one. This one folds up. Pop filters. You know what these are used for?
Spit.
Yes, mainly spit, but if you have a lot of B's and P's, when you pronounce them, they always pop. So this helps eliminate the pop when you say certain letters. So Gene fixed me up with this stand here and this microphone. I think I have $30 invested in it. And normally this microphone by itself, probably $60, $70 for a nice Samson mic. This will hook straight into the computer with a USB port. This one's nice, but I'm an Audio-Technica fan. I love this one. Again, it hooks straight into your USB drive. This one comes with the stand. They're not cheap, but they're worth the money. It's around $125, $130 for this one.
Mike's got a question.
So you're using those to edit, add voiceover during the editing process?
Correct. Correct. This one connects to the camera, this camera here. And again, I bought this one from Jireh Supplies. It's another Audio-Technica with a different type of connection.
XLR.
XLR, correct. This is a used one. I think they let me have it for $30. And the cord, 20-foot cable, $6 a piece.
Yeah, Mike, to further answer your question, if you're in a one-man shop where you're trying to video something that you're doing on your own, it's oftentimes going to be difficult to concentrate on what you're doing, what you're cutting, and talk at the same time. So it's entirely within reason to video the thing without voice, either that or delete the voice completely, and then dub in the voice afterwards. That video editing software makes that quite easy.
Bob mentioned lighting a few minutes ago. I believe this bulb that came from Home Depot, I believe somewhere on here is a 5500K. And this was around $8. So I went to I went to Big Lots and found this 4-pack 6500K bulbs for $8 for all of them. So I tried to take this one back to Home Depot. Of course, I lost the receipt. And they gave me a credit voucher with 1 penny on it.
The 6500K lights will have a little more blue in them. The 5000K lights are very much like the real true sunlight. They call them natural daylight lights. So
Steve,
you might prefer the 5.
if you plug in this lamp, it has one of the 6500K bulbs in it. If you can get to the outlet. Did I already talk about those umbrella lights?
No.
Okay. You see a nice reflection off that.
Do they take some warm-up time?
Not a whole lot.
A little bit, yeah.
But they do.
Okay, now that we're on these, the umbrella lights. I don't use them a lot, but when I do need them, I'm glad I have them. I got a 3-pack of those, 2 taller ones and 1 shorter one off eBay for $50, $60. Go down to the video store and a set like that is $400.
Easily.
We like cheap stuff or inexpensive stuff.
So you would use that, i.e. if you wanted to do a voiceover and you wanted a picture of you, so you would have that sitting out there and shining at you so you would be in good light.
Correct. Okay, that brings us to this thing. This is a steady rest for your camera. And again, this will hold quick disconnects would be great.
Get some air fittings.
These are good to have. Instead of taking your video camera, one-handed, run around shooting, it's always gives you much more stability if you use two hands. Another plus with this is you can do this number around objects. If you see, remember old horror flicks again, talked about earlier, somebody might be circling a monster. Instead of using a tripod, you just go around the monster, taking weird pictures, weird shots. This is hard to master though, but it's a lot of fun.
So if I was using that in my shop and I had areas where I could do it, I could have the camera and set it there so it would be at the right height or whatever, like for a lathe or for a...
One thing I would do additional on this is I put a nut on the bottom so I could mount my monopod on it. A couple of weeks ago, maybe a couple of months ago, there was a video going around how somebody took the inside of a shop and with the camera he was going in close and backing up and walking around to the table and taking a shot at his table. That was done with a steady rest. I think Rob wanted to do one of those. So hard to master but fun to use.
What's the name of the website for that one?
It's on the list, Frugal Filmmaker. Okay, cameras that I use. This is a flip camera. This is the first video camera that I owned. What's great about this, after you have your video, you can just download it straight to your computer. So that's handy. This one here, the best feature on this one is the head tilts. So you can watch whatever any way you want to go. That's pretty cool.
So if you wanted to make your self-portrait in your, like you do, some of yours would use a camera like that would work.
Correct. Very similar to this style where the side pops open and you can turn it. Okay. This was my second video camera. This is JVC Enviro. I think that's the name of it. This is not an HD camera. I added a small microphone on bottom. Works pretty good, not great, but it's fair. The microphone came off eBay for $20, I believe. Then I went to this camera, which is an HD camera. Takes great video, a lot smaller, fits in your pocket. Then I bought this DSLR, which takes good video also. I believe this is a 16.8 megapixel. Then I bought this one. I'm not going to tell you the price of this one, it's a lot. Thing about this camera, the lens, as you're walking, is like on a gyroscope. So the lens will move with every step that you take. It came with the microphone. This one, you can open the side, hit the projection button, and whatever you have shown, you can project it on the wall.
Oh, okay.
Not a great feature, but it's still pretty cool. This one has a 96 gigabyte internal memory, which will hold approximately 9 hours of high definition video.
What's the brand of that?
This is a Sony. And also another good point on this camera. It has a USB port that is hid inside the handle. When your internal memory fills up, you can take it straight to your hard drive. No computer needed.
Yeah, but you didn't tell us the price of that.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, what is it?
This is the cheaper of the Pro cameras, and it was right at $2,000. No, so not bad, but not great either. Okay. Oh, it's on that table. That little nut and bolt.
Hold the steak.
Whatever these things are named, I cannot remember. But
T-nut.
T-nut and a bolt.
Hold it out of the light. Take it
I'll
out.
put it right here.
Now I gotta find it again.
Yep.
He moves it again.
I took the points off the T-nut, then I had to grind it down, then put in a 1/4 inch by 20 bolt, and grind the head off or cut the head off, and you're going like this. Again, this is an idea I got off YouTube. If you're filming, and if Mike is over here in one lathe turning, and Jack is over here in this lathe turning, you have one tripod, 2 cameras. Insert this into your hot shoe. Film 2 at one time.
It doesn't short out anything, connections in the hot shoe?
None at all. Of course, if you do this, get something that would make this a little bit steadier so it won't
Snugger fit.
rock back and forth, like put a bushing and another nut on it to hold it tight. Okay, this is the software that I use for editing. Sony Vegas Platinum. They have 3 versions: Sony Vegas, Vegas Platinum, and Vegas Pro. This one came with a software. I think it's called Acid. It comes with DVD Architect, which is another program. It comes with several hundred clips, motion graphics. Like Bob said earlier, I think this is around $100. I'll pass this around. Anybody's interested in that.
Motion graphics would be for transitions.
Motion graphics is, if you have, okay, the MGM Lion that roars, that started, that's a motion graphic. It's like a short clip on the front of a movie. Any questions on any of this? I will offer that if anybody wants to use any of these accessories, just let me know. I can't loan you my cameras, but if you ever want to borrow any of the accessories, let me know and I'll bring it to you. Yes?
What does John use for editing for his phone?
I'm not sure. I know he did buy the Sonus Platinum, just like that
Yeah,
one.
he uses Sony Vegas.
Same thing.
Yeah. Now, I think the low-end version of Sony Vegas comes with all the basics, a lot of transition type stuff. I think you can get it for as cheap as $65. I think I equipped Steve with a set of that and one of the other guys that are going to participate in the editing here soon. And the more expensive Sony Vegases that you see out there on the internet, they've just got more stuff rolled into the package, and it's probably stuff that you'll never use. So stick with the cheap one, the $65 one. You oftentimes wonder, what am I missing? You got to study the ads real careful to figure out that you aren't really missing anything. Just lots of bells and whistles. that
I
you
like the
don't
way
need.
Keith explains it. Keith that works in the store, he does their videoing. It's like a bicycle rim with the spokes. The basic model might have 20 spokes and will do the job, but a more comfortable ride with more features, you can get more spokes on it, which would be the higher up trays. So, any questions on it? Oh, don't fall for these gimmicks. The kind that mounts to your dashboard, because they don't mount to your dashboard. They'll fall off in 10 seconds. So this is going to be repurposed somehow.
Carl, I have another question.
Yes.
Going back to microphones, do you sometimes have problems with noise, side noise coming into the, being picked up by a microphone?
Like a dog barking or anything like that?
Yeah, stuff like that, or sometimes the wind, or just maybe equipment running in the background?
Many times when I'm recording, I can hear my air conditioner going at home. So I turn everything off. Make sure the kids outside are gone.
So you don't put any like things around like the PVC piping?
No, not when I'm doing it at home, no. You can put a piece of foam around the head, and that will help out. Or if you've ever seen those big fuzzy things that are round, look like boas, those are called dead cats. But they really help out a lot too.
Open cell phone.
Mhm.
No, actually, this is a big hairy looking thing. I mean, it looks like somebody skinned a cat. That's why within the industry, they call them dead cats.
Okay, we're going to go
I think
to,
and maybe a further answer to your question about picking up side noise, there's a whole science to microphone pickup patterns that you would need to examine for, stage and theater performances, that kind of thing. The most popular one out there is what they call cardioid, and there's also the supercardioid. What that has to do with is the pattern from the sides that a microphone will pick up. The supercardioid will make a much narrower pattern to where it's going to pick up straight on and reject most of the side noise. But if you look at, like B&H Photo or something like that, they've got quite a good treatment in there about microphone patterns.
next Steve is going to go over his editing software. But do y'all want to take like a 10-minute break first?
Yeah, let me set up.